today? How are you doing today? Sorry, cat from Thailand. How are you doing? True Blue Thai here from Thailand. I'll be doing well. Yeah, so just yeah, so for I'm True Blue Thai. If you don't know me, from some big Man City fan, living in Thailand, and been here, but born in Manchester. Follow Man City, both ladies and men, and delighted today. I am happy because I watched two games yesterday, and two very important games. Two important games again. Two very difficult teams. The teams on the south coast. Well, not quite Crawley. Crawley, wasn't it? Where we played yesterday, and yeah, for instance, we won both games. We're going back down to the Etihad South, and yeah, for instance, as the men's senior team, relying on a very young man, Nico O'Reilly came and did the business for us, and not only, but and we have Casparij, for instance, who came along and scored a very first goal and made the second, and the ladies won as well, for instance. So I'm absolutely delighted just there. So I'm buzzing. You might see a bit of wind there, for instance, because I've got the light on as well, for instance, because unlike Thailand, it's we've kind of gone into a bit of a rainy patch, etc. at the moment. Nothing, still 30 degrees, but just cloudy and a bit of a welcome respite from the hot season we're in at the moment. It's been not good a hot season today. It's normally about 40 degrees, so I think that we've got still more to come really of hot season. Yeah, so it's a bit cloudy today, and so it's always funny because it's like ooh, cloud, and you're like whoa. Really is. When you see cloud in the UK, you're like oh my god no, but in Thailand it's like ooh, cloud might rain. Yesterday it rained for literally 1 minute. 1 minute it rained. It was predicting rain. It rained for 1 minute. So, for instance, I kid you not, I'm not joking, because I've got some washing. I put it on the hanger outside. Don't use washer dryers. You can. I don't. Because you're outside all the time. So, for instance, anyway, so I put the washer out, and it rained, and we've got a bit of a tin roof here, for instance, in this area where I'm now, and it rained, and so I put the stuff into the side here. And by the time I put the stuff on the side, it stopped. And that was it. Big black cloud coming along. And then that was it. But yeah, 60 seconds. Anyway, so let's move on. So you can see I'm happy today. If you see my videos over the last few days, etc. I've been kind of, because of, what happened at Chelsea, how lucky Chelsea were, for instance, and how unfortunate I was because the men's team and the injuries again. And yesterday we were caught by injuries again. And it really, I can't believe it, And we got an international break now, haven't we? So, for instance, hopefully, that will be, will do as well. For instance, to have a break, and hopefully we'll get some of the ladies back, etc. For instance, for the next game. But because we got an FA Cup game coming up against the Rags. So anyway, so for instance, because I couldn't believe when, for instance, what's it called when we. But let's go through it. Okay, so let's go through it. So Nick made 3 changes, and for instance, to defeat against Chelsea. For instance, but what's it called in the warm up? For instance, in the warm up, etc. For instance, where we lost. What was the name? Oh, all organised. Okay, so for instance, that means Nakomi, Lazel, Laura Coombs, Jess Park, and Laura Winborough all came into the team when Jewel Rod, Nicolene, Miedema, and Alexanderi. Keaton started in goal at the back with laia, Lazel, Pryor, sorry, I don't ever get my name wrong, and Wasabi in front of her. Our midfield consists of Hazagawi, Coombs, and Park, with Mary Filey leading the line in between Murphy on the left wing and Caspari on the right wing. It wasn't exactly the way we, for instance, started, but with the injuries, it just ridiculous. So what was the name of the lady, Francis, who came off? Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, in warm up, she came off in warm up. Oh dear me, dear me, dear me. And then we had a clash of heads as well, for instance, in the beginning, and I thought, oh no. Um, but yeah, later Alexanderi was forced out of the lineup during the warm up, and with fans holding their breath when Leila Ozabi went down with a head injury in just 1 minute of the game. So I'm like, oh my god, no, for instance, it's just our patched up squad, but but the fighters and they really really believe, for instance, and they and like unlike the men, I think the men have a confidence issue. I think with the ladies, for instance, it's not about confidence. I think it's about, for instance, injuries and key players. For instance, then going to Brighton, who were on our tails really, what's it called in the WSL, and I thought, for instance, we were. And they basically what's it called? They've had a week off, for instance, to prepare. We're playing against Brighton. They were by far were the better team. They came at us. They were just very similar to the Bournemouth game against the men. They came at us. They had a lot more attacks, a lot more chops. But then again, for instance, when we went over our first attack, etc., when we crossed the ball over in the first few minutes, but you realise, having not a single attack, and then suddenly, for instance, we had one where we could have scored from. For instance, I think no, what was it? For instance, a mix up between the goalkeeper and the defender, for instance, where we could have scored. So there was always that, and I felt that very similar to the Bournemouth game, if you know what's called to interject with the men, because regardless of their huffing and puffing, and they had more shots, and which was over the bar, for instance, and I think I need to praise our defence, and I think our defence is really, really good. For instance, I think considering we're under the pressure, we like to play out from the back. But for instance, I thought we really play with that was our lady, for instance, really, really plays well. So I think we really need to give our defence a lot of praise. Anyway, so for instance, I say Brighton and Cara Keaton again, for instance, were fantastic in goal. Just not getting past that young lady, for instance, and and on the 31st minute, a great ball from Hizagawa. Hizagawa, for me, when I see her, she's such a small young lady, small lovely lady, and first of all, I always feel like she's going to get bombarded in midfield, and I always feel like maybe she gets knocked off the ball. Maybe you've got women a lot bigger who are aggressive. But I always think now, watching her now, is that, for instance, what she does. She really put. She set up the first goal, and she's really got good skill. And so I'm really, really surprised. I'm tapping the toe, and I'm thinking, oh well, she's going to get bullied in the midfield, which sometimes she does. But she also actually really makes good interceptions, good passes, and again set up the first goal for Fowler to knock it across to Casparij, and Caspari with her first goal, which I was very surprised about. So that was her first goal for Caspari, and which was brilliant, and that I kind of like stunned Brighton really, because they were in the ascendancy, they were attacking, but for instance, Man City had the first goal in the 37th minute. So for instance, but the 37th minute. And what's it called? And we lasted out, and even though Brighton, came back at us. For instance, we didn't, and they had a few shots, corners, etc. They couldn't penetrate through into our defence, and I thought the ladies played absolutely fantastic. Really held out. What's it called, to the half-time break. There was a few players went down. So, for instance, and it was a warm day as far as England's concerned, with the sun. So a lot of people were coming over to get every time there was a break, they come over to get some refreshments. For instance, but at half time, we went in 1-0, 1-0 up. So, for instance, anyway, so came the second half. Um, for instance, kind of was very much similar to the first, but I thought we were a lot more dynamic in the second half. I thought we had more battles, etc. For instance, within that, though, it was a kind of 50-50 game, and Brighton. Really played well, for instance, and but they didn't have a much penetration. They were like Chelsea in a way, where, for instance, they would have a lot of the ball, have a lot of chances, but they didn't. They didn't have the skill, the players with the skills possible to put the chances away. So even I could go through their chances, etc., be here all day. But the fact is, I just feel that, for instance, City's defence were playing well. Karakitin was absolutely superb. I thought Fowler and yeah. So for instance, and Hazagawi, for instance, and a little where we nicked it. I think when we changed over, and we brought on what was the name? I do apologise. I will get the names, and again, I'm kind of new to this, as it were. When we brought on Kerry for instance, for Murphy, I thought she was had more attack, to what we needed, take the ball up to the thing. Anyway, and Rude, when she came on, etc., for that foul on the 66. But I had a bit more, give us a bit more the penetration in the Brighton box. But overall, for instance, and it was not so really surprised too much when we actually, got to, and got a second goal with Casparij passing the ball to, and then Miedema must have goal, just knocking the ball in the back in the left. Sorry, in the net, etc., to make it 2-0. I was just, and it was just, it was just so, and it was just a relief, because we needed that second goal. Because I always felt, just like the men, we need one goal is not good enough. And I felt like, just like against the Chelsea game in the WSL, that for instance, we need that second goal. And where we got cheated out the second goal in the WSL against Chelsea, for instance, Miedema getting that second goal on the 90th minute, for instance, just kind of like that's it, game one, happy days. And then Charles Rooley did get a goal back, a nice move of them on the right, and she just passed it into the net, etc. Which was, I think, is what they deserved, a goal. But I think overall, for instance, it was a relief when I heard that final whistle. We had 7 minutes extra time, which didn't make me happy at all. Can't understand where that came from. I think we played, I stopped looking at the clock, because the clock, I was just driving me mad. I think, when is this, referee going to score? Blow the whistle. But no, I think it was a really, really, really good team performance. Really grinding performance by the girls, staying in to get the points, and to cement ourselves in second place, fourth place. The Rags won, which was against Everton. So because we're 7 points behind them, it's going to be difficult catching them. But I think we just keep on fighting to the end now. We're not playing Chelsea anymore, hopefully, for instance, we can pick up the points. The international break hopefully will do us well, and hopefully we can get some players back. But we really, really got to admire the ladies, etc., for instance, in their determination to get the results yesterday. The stats out the day was good again. Brighton had more percent, 53% to 46. They had 23 shots on goal. 23 shots. City only 12. 4 on target, but City had more on target. It was 5 on target. So yeah, and touches inside the box, they're 44-27. But again, for instance, it's not about the amount of chances that you have, it's what you do with them, and you've got to be clinical and your chances, and which Man City were when we did. We soaked up the Brighton pressure, and So for instance, we did what we needed to do. Any comments after the game? I said Casparij was to go thanks the fans, and after the game, I didn't see how much about from Nick, for instance, what he was mentioning, what he said after the game. Didn't see much see about that. Again, I moved on to the men's game, but no. Overall, I was absolutely delighted with the win. Still keeps us in touch with of a Champions League place, and hopefully, for instance, anything more than what we deserved. Really, I thought again, looking back against the Chelsea 4 games, I thought we were very unlucky to lose the League Cup. I thought we were the better team then, and I thought, for instance, in the Champions League, we won the game, well deserved, and Chelsea were quite flat. And the WSL, for instance, I thought, yeah, again we should have had two should have been going into half time at 2-0, and I mean then Chelsea scored an early goal 2-1, and then they got 90th minute to make it 2-1. Yeah, sorry, 1-1. Then the 90th minute to make it 2-1 by Cuthbert. And then and then we for instance the 3-1, 3-0. But again, with this Chelsea squad and the strength of Chelsea squad, and every time Miriris, that's the lady I keep forgetting. I shouldn't really. She's got to be pinned on my name in my brain, etc. Because every time she scores, etc., they always seem to, to win really, and not over convincing. But I do, I'm very impressed with what Nick's done and the how we've with our injury hit squad. I've actually really, for instance, been success. Um, okay, but other than that, anyway, so I'm going to get going. So I'm really delighted. I'm going to get going before the rain starts because I got a bit of a tin room. When the rain starts on turf, you're not going to hear me. Maybe a good thing. I don't know. But anyway, so but like and subscribe. Tell me what you're thinking. We go on to the next after the international break, and then we got the Rags. After that, because Saturday men we're playing the Rags soon as well. So I've got the FA Cup. Yeah, anyway, like and subscribe. Tell me what you're thinking. Am I right or wrong? I don't want to go too much into the games. And I know I'm kind of skirting over things like the game. Don't want to go into particular chances. It's not a running commentary. Just giving my views of how I thought the game went. Again, it's like very similar to the Bournemouth game. They had a lot of opportunities, especially in the first half, but they only took one, etc. City, but I think, for instance, City were clinical, which were the better team really, and I think, for instance, we had our best squad out, we would have beaten that one, no problem. I think we would have beaten Brighton 3-4-0, and because we got a good result against Brighton anyway, a good, past results. But I think there's nothing more we deserve really. Really good squad. I'm hoping that Nick actually stays on. Actually, I've been really impressed by him. I'm impressed by his press conferences as well, and especially with. I think his head coach as trainer as well, coach. What was the name? But like and subscribe. I'm going to get going now before the rain starts, and I'll speak to you soon. And well done, ladies. Great game. Made me very happy. Happy with the men going back to the Etihad South. But I think overall, I've been very impressed by watching the ladies. And for instance, I think we deserve better than what we get. And the injuries have just been just like the men. It's just been annoying, so annoying. But just shows you how much we need to strengthen the squad in the future. So anyway, so sorry, Cat from Thailand, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Mm-hmm.